We have 4 official advisors for Buffer. So when do you get advisors on board? How much equity do you give them? That's what we're going to talk about today.
Hey guys, welcome to the 3rd episode of Startup Life. It's a show where Joel and I discuss our biggest struggles with startups, life routines and much more. And as Joel has already said, today's topic, advisors for startups. How does it work? Let's dig right in. Who do we have at Buffer?
Exactly, yeah. So we have Heaton Shah from Kissmetrics. We have AD from Woo Themes. We have Guy Kawasaki.
Yeah.
And then we have Eric Kim from Twilight.
Yeah.
And they're all awesome guys. So when did we get them on board?
I think so. There's a few. That's a good one. So I think the key one was that Heaton was the first person we got on board, and that was way before we raised funding. So that was a great moment because we had not this idea of getting an advisor was completely new to us. So I think it was a great moment because we were a bit hesitant. We were like, shall we ask him? How much equity do we give him? And we then met Heaton a few times, and then we sent an email.
Yeah, I think we asked a few people. So we were going through AngelPad. We asked a few mentors at AngelPad, how much do you normally give someone?
Yeah.
And the range that we heard was, and this is before fundraising,
yeah.
The range we heard was between 0.25 and 1%. So we had an amount, and then we kind of made it a bit more formal. We asked.
Yeah, the first we had a very casual relationship. We just sent a bit more formal email and saying, okay, we really want this person on board. Like Heaton is an amazing guy. We will talk about for various reasons, but we just sent him an email and say, hey, are you interested in coming on board as an advisor? And then he fortunately said yes, and then we talked about the stake.
That's a good point. So then the stake came after.
Yeah.
That's a good one. And the other thing is, we touched on fundraising, and I think fundraising is a really good way to also get some really cool advisors on board as well, because a lot of your investors can become some of your most valuable advisors. I think Gokul, who is part of AngelPad, he runs ads at Facebook, and he's very experienced. He was at Google before, and then he sold a startup to Facebook. I think he's one of our most useful.
He's one of the best people we have. So I think the investor part. I think another important point is what can advisors do for you. I think speaking of Gokul, I think one of the key things that a lot of our awesome advisors have done is like doing fantastic introductions to other entrepreneurs, people you can collaborate with. So I think that was a key point. I think advisors can also help you a lot, like getting the word out. So like Heaton has a massive following.
Yeah.
Guy Kawasaki has a massive following. He's been to tons of conferences.
Yeah.
And he plugged Buffer many times. It's been hugely valuable for us.
Yeah.
I think
that's a really good one. I think the other one is that advisors have been where you've not been before.
Yeah, exactly.
So like these guys, we can hit them up when we're like, when you're in those stages, and I mean you have to deal with uncertainty at startup anyway, but to have an advisor to just call up and say, we're going through this, we're with hiring or learning all these new things.
Yeah.
You can just call them up and say like, how should we go about this?
Yeah, we do that a lot. I think on top of that, the key also for us is to pick people who are in the right space. I think you can call them up and they're much more experienced, but they're also much more experienced in the space. So like Heaton has had his own product in the social sharing space. Guy Kawasaki is the #1 person when it comes to social sharing. Eric Kim has his startup Twilight is also in the Twitter space. So I think we were very focused on getting people who are just not more experienced, but also have been down a similar route even to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's been our experience with advisors. That's how we've gone about it. It would be really cool to hear how it's gone for you. Do you have advisors? Are you thinking about it? Love to hear from you in the comments. So see you next time.